If you are preparing for NPAT, SET, IPMAT or any other competitive exam that tests your general aptitude, then you are in the right video. In this video, I'm going to discuss with you the solutions to the NPAT 2025 verbal reasoning sample paper as uploaded by NMIMS on their website. I shall discuss the tips and tricks to help you ace the kind of problems that you see on this paper. So if you want to take maximum advantage of this video, I request you to please stay till the very end so that you don't miss out on any important pointer that I may discuss during the course of the solutions. So without further ado, let's dive in. NPAT 2025 verbal reasoning sample paper. Let's look at another type of question. This is about parajumbles. Parajumbles are what? They are questions that give you different statements or sentences. You need to put all the sentences in a proper order, in a logical order to make a meaningful paragraph, which is grammatically correct as well as logically correct. So let's look at rearranging the given sentences in a proper sequence to form a meaningful paragraph. It all began during high school when Aisha moved to a hostel. She was grateful that she had the support of her family to help her through this difficult time. Neither Aisha nor her parents expected that her life would take such an unfortunate turn. Not long after this, Aisha was diagnosed with blood cancer. So she had to leave school and focus on her treatment. All right. Now look, which option is correct? How do we go about this? For parajumbles, I've made a separate video. I'll link that video in the description. And that will also figure towards the end of this video. So I request you to please have a look at that video. That will give you all the necessary rules or the information that you need to handle parajumbles. Here, I'll take you through the questions. I'll explain the reasoning behind it. So once you are done with this video, please have a look at the important pointers that you need to learn on parajumbles in my next video. All right. So here, the trick is to find the start and the end and then see whether there are any connecting transition words or pair two sentences which should be together and the sequence of those two questions and so on. So there are a lot of tricks involved. All right, so here let us deploy some of those tricks. Rearrange the given sentences in a proper sequence to form a meaningful paragraph. Option A says it all began during high school when Aisha moved to a hostel. This looks like a starting statement. It all began, but we cannot conclude it at that stage. Let us read the further sentences. She was grateful that she had the support of her family. Okay. Neither Aisha nor her parents expected that her life would take such an unfortunate turn. Okay. Not long after this, Aisha was died. So not long after this gives me an indication that it will be followed by something, right? Something will happen before this event. So this is the indication that we get. This is the time indicator, not long after this. Option C, neither Aisha nor her parents expected that her life would take such an unfortunate event. See, this statement, option C, could also be a starter, okay? Not just this, that is how it all began. So my take is that since option C exists, had this not been there, perhaps we would have taken A as the starting point. It all began, right? It starts from here. But since option C exists and it says that neither Aisha nor her parents expected that her life would take such an unfortunate turn, meaning this is introducing something that is going to happen. And that is why in this question, the starting has to be C and not A. So whatever options we see here, AA, so we will neglect A and B and see whether anything starting with C makes sense. So option C starts with C and let us see whether ADB makes sense. Now look, neither Aisha nor her parents expected that her life would take such an unfortunate turn. Fine. We can go to A. It all began during high school when Aisha moved to a hostel. So this now introduces what the starting point actually, that it all began when she moved to a hostel. What happened there? Not long after this, Aisha was diagnosed. So I'll put D after this because not long after Aisha moved to a hostel, she was diagnosed with blood cancer and had to leave school. But finally, what happened? She was grateful that she had the support of her family to help her through the difficult time. So I'll put B at the end. This makes perfect sense. CADP. So I'll go with option C. That's how we arrive at the right order of sentences when we handle parajumbles. We'll do a few more questions based on this topic. Let's do question number 50. Rearrange the given sentences in a proper sequence to form a meaningful paragraph. According to archaeologists, so and so was an estate built for so and so, the emperor of so and so kingdom. Okay. In 2007, it also got included as one of the 7 wonders of the world. So here the focus should be on the word also. That means this cannot be the starting point. It is additional information, so it will follow a particular sentence or option. Machu Picchu is a citadel situated on a so and so fit mountain ridge in this thing. So this is introducing what Machu Picchu is, and it was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the year 1983. All right, so there are 2 time clues here, 2007 and 1983. So how do we put them in order? Before we look at the options, let us see if we can put them in a logical sequence on our own, and then we will match it with the given options. So this C could be a starting point. Machu Picchu is a citadel situated on, it is a statement, right? So let us see if we can start with C. Then if you are making a statement, if you are saying something about the citadel, let us club A with it so that it also says something about the citadel. What is a citadel? It's a fortress, right? So if it is CA, that is Machu Picchu is a citadel situated on so and so ridge and mountain ridge in southern Peru. And then according to archaeologists, Machu Picchu was an estate built for so and so, the emperor of this thing. Now we are left with B and D. So obviously 1983 precedes 2007. So I'll go with D and then B. Is there an option CADB? CADB, yes, it is this option D. So I'll go with option D. This is how we arrive at the chronology of sentences. Let us look at question number 51. Rearrange the given sentences in a proper sequence to form a meaningful paragraph. From the advent of cell phones in the 1980s to this day, mobile technology has improved drastically. Okay, this could be a starting point. In this era of technology and digitization, diverse ideas are coming together to make things much easier for human beings. Among the various breakthroughs in IT in the last few years, robotics and artificial intelligence top the list. Computer, video games, and television technologies have also gone through major changes in recent years. With every passing year, massive advancements in technology take place, affecting our lives in many ways. Do you see a starting point here? Now look, there are certain clues that we need to work on. Have also gone. That means D cannot be the starting point, right? So we will skip this. It cannot be the starting point. Let's find the starting point and maybe the conclusion, and then look at how we arrange the balance sentences. Maybe we will use chronology, that is time clues, or we will use grammar. That means they need to fit together grammatically to put the balance questions in order, right? So but the trick is to find the starting point, and sometimes there could be 2 starting points, so we'll have to see which one will make sense. Okay, all right. So here, from the advent of cell phones in the 1980s to this day, mobile technology has improved drastically. This could be one of the starting points, but let's read further. In this era of technology, diverse ideas are coming together to make things much easier for human beings. This could be a concluding statement. Okay, so for concluding statement, I'm writing C, and for starting point, I'm writing S. Among the various breakthroughs in IT in the last few years, robotics and artificial intelligence top of the list. Okay, now look at this statement. Every passing year, massive advancements in technology take place, affecting our lives in many ways. So if E is the starting point, this is a very nice starting point. It says that with every passing year, it's an overarching statement. That's why I'm discounting A as the starting point and I'm taking E, because E is an overarching statement. That means a bigger statement of a fact, because A says from the advent of cell phones to, that something has happened, mobile technology has improved drastically. So this can follow E. So I'll keep E as the starting point. It'll say with every passing year, massive advancements in technology take place, affecting our lives in many ways. Okay, now go to A. From here, we go to A. From the advent of cell phones in the 1980s to this day, mobile technology has improved drastically. So we are good with E and A. Now let's see, we are left with B, C, and D. So after saying that from the advent of cell phones in the 1980s to this day, mobile technology has improved drastically. Now, among the various breakthroughs, so we need to select between C and D, right? Because C could be the concluding statement. Okay, so among the various breakthroughs in IT in the last few years. And here we also see also. So obviously it has to be C and D and then followed by the last concluding statement, that is B. EACDB. This is how we quickly arrive at the chronology. And if you read it together, the passage will make sense to you. So I'll go with option D, which is exactly the same, EACDB. This is how we arrive at this option. I hope I'm making sense to you and you are able to follow the thought process behind putting sentences together. They need to make a meaningful paragraph. They need to be logically correct and also grammatically correct. Okay, so the trick is to find the starting point and the end point, that is the introductory statement and the concluding statement, and then in between put the balanced sentences in order to make perfect sense. All right. Another question on Parajumbles, question number 52. Rearrange the given sentences in a proper sequence to form a meaningful paragraph. Rock salt helps in the absorption of minerals in the body, aids digestion, soothes heartburn, stabilizes blood pressure and cures rheumatic pain. Option B, there are many benefits and uses of rock salt, but what actually is it? Now this should give us an indication. We may think that, look, this could be a starting point, that there are many benefits and uses of rock salt, but what actually is it? But if you have other sentences that tell you something about the benefits and uses of rock salt, then ideally those sentences should precede this statement, right? That is the clue. So let us see. Here you have one sentence, rock salt helps in the absorption of minerals. Okay, it gives you the advantage, right? Third statement C, rock salt found in the Himalayan region is given the name Himalayan crystal salt. So it says something about rock salt. It is good for hair and skin as well, owing to its detoxifying, exfoliating and cleansing properties. Now look, the clue here, grammatical clue, is that the pronoun it is used. So this cannot be your starting point. Since it is used, that means, and obviously we are talking about rock salt, so there has to be a statement which mentions or takes the name of rock salt, okay, or which mentions rock salt before option D could be put in, right? I hope it is understood by you. Now last statement is formed from sodium chloride. Rock salt or halite is a mineral that appears as a result of salt water evaporation from large water bodies. Now, which should be our starting point? So I know that B cannot be my starting point. And since it is talking about there are many benefits and uses of rock salt and what actually is it, so the clue is absolutely, it lies here. What actually is it should follow the benefits. Okay, so what are the benefits? The benefits I see here, rock salt helps in the absorption of minerals. So this could be, so I'll not put this as the starting point. I'll cut this out. I'll write S over here. This is my starting point. Rock salt helps in the absorption of minerals in the body, aids digestion, so this heartburn, stabilizes blood pressure and cures rheumatic pain. Is there any other benefit? Yes, this is another benefit. So D, it is good for, now I have mentioned rock salt, so I can use it because the antecedent of it would be rock salt, right? So it is good for the hair and skin as well. So I'll write A as my starting point, followed by D. So I put two benefits of rock salt. After this, I can put this statement that there are many benefits and uses of rock salt, but what actually is it? And in the balance two statements, I have to mention what actually rock salt is. So let me see whether the balance two statements mention something about that to be sure on the order. So if I put B in between, I'll be left with option C and E. So C talks about rock salt and E also talks about rock salt. So this will fit in. So let me see the order. I can put E, formed from sodium chloride. Rock salt or halite is a mineral that appears as a result of salt water. And then thereafter I can put C. That is, rock salt found in the Himalayan region is given the name Himalayan crystal salt. Now look, why not C and E? Why E and C? Because E is a broader statement. It talks about the rock salt in finer detail, and this C, it just gives some additional information that rock salt found in the Himalayan region is given the name Himalayan crystal salt. So ideally, you define what rock salt is first, and then you give some additional information about it. All right. So that is why I'll go with ADBEC. And which option? Is there an option? ADBEC. So this looks like an option that we will go with. So option D is the choice. Alright, let's look at the next set of questions. Question number 53 through 56, they refer to the following information. As you can see, the option choices indicate that these questions pertain to vocabulary. That means they test your understanding of the meaning of words. So my tip to you is build your vocabulary every day. Read newspaper, listen to the news, whichever word is new for you, please look up its meaning in the dictionary on the internet and memorize the meaning of the word. Not just memorize, please understand the context in which the word was used, and please use that word as often as possible in your everyday speech or writing. That is how you will be able to put the word in your permanent memory. Okay, all right, so let's move on. Question number 53. In light of the recent happenings, the nation is again dashed in a debate on capital punishment. Is it tuned in a debate? No. Tuned, you are tuned to something and not in. So I wouldn't say tuned. Ridden. Ridden is basically the past participle of form of ride. Here it means maybe ridden means maybe obsessed by. Okay, for example, I can say bedridden or guilt-ridden or debt-ridden. Okay, so controlled by something, right? So here, is it controlled by or ridden in a debate? No, that again is not okay. Riveted. Rivet is what? When you put a rivet maybe to something like, for example, you rivet a leather. That means you put the two seams together, right? You rivet them or you join them together. So is it riveted in a debate? No. Bounded in a debate? No. Bound meaning there has to be some kind of a boundary. Okay, we are not talking of that. So it is not bounded by a debate. It is embroiled in a debate. Embroiled meaning what? Deeply involved in something, right? So yes, here the word is embroiled. It is deeply involved in a debate on capital punishment, right? Something, okay, all right. So I'll go with option E. What next? Question number 54. Considerable opposition to capital punishment has come from the legal scholarship quarters. It views it, meaning the legal scholarship quarters, right? It views the use of capital punishment as dash, as it uses hate to fight hate. Okay, so the legal scholarship quarters, they view the use of capital punishment as dash. Do they consider it as redolent? Redolent meaning reminiscent of. Okay, it reminds you of something. So the word doesn't fit in here, and the clue is as it uses hate to fight hate. So you'll have to pay attention to this part, that it is using hate to fight hate. Okay, so confining, again not okay. Pretentious. Pretentious is what? When you pretend to have something which you actually don't have. Okay, you try to show off. So is it capital as the it views the use of capital punishment as pretentious, as it uses hate to fight hate? It is using hate to fight hate. How is it pretentious? It is not showing off anything. Hypocritical. This seems to be the correct option. Why? Because the meaning of hypocritical is that you say that you believe in something, but actually you don't do that. For example, if you don't believe in a particular thought process, maybe you say that you are very benevolent and you want to help the poor, but actually you are very greedy. You don't do anything for the masses. Okay, you are just focused on yourself, you are self-centered, then you are hypocritical. Okay, so here it uses hate to fight hate. Let's look at the other sentence also before we finalize hypocritical. The other word, I mean, conventional. Punishment is conventional. No, conventional meaning as per the convention, right? It is not. So here the word hypocritical fits the bill perfectly. So it views the use of capital punishment as hypocritical, as it uses hate to fight hate. Meaning you may say that it is not okay to use hate against hate, but actually you do, and that is what is the meaning here, that when you promote capital punishment, you are being hypocritical because you are using hate to fight hate. That's the meaning. So here we will go with option D, that is hypocritical. Let's look at the next question. Question number 55. People who support capital punishment, it argues, have failed to make a dash between justice and revenge. Now look, the important word over here is between. So between two things, between justice and revenge, they have failed to make a what, thereby normalizing crime. They have failed to make a what? Distinction, dissimilarity, comparison, prioritization, reconciliation. Obviously here the correct word would be distinction. Distinction is when you distinguish one product or one thing from another, or one person, okay, or the quality of one person from another. You distinguish. That is distinction. So here it is not dissimilarity, it is not comparison, it is not prioritization. Prioritization meaning you put something before other, right? Neither it is a reconciliation. You are not reconciling something. You are not trying to end your argument on something, okay? So it is not reconciliation. So here it is they have failed to make a distinction between justice and revenge. That's the meaning, all right? Thereby normalizing crime. Finally, question number 56. It says research studies have clearly shown that capital punishment does not act as a dash to violent crimes. Meaning capital punishment should not act as a dash to violent crimes, as a conduit to violent crimes. Now look, it should not act as a conduit to violent crimes. This does not make sense. Conduit is what? Conduit is like a pipe. It gives you the way, right? It paves way. So the capital punishment does not act as a dash to violent crimes. No. As a deterrent, yes. Deterrent is what? It stops, it deters, it stops. So it says that it says research studies have clearly shown that capital punishment does not act as a deterrent to violent crimes. I'll go with option B, but let's see other options as well. Precedent. Precedent is something that has happened before. It serves as an example, so this does not make sense. Proposition. You propose something. No. Detachment. You remove something. No. These words don't fit in the meaning. The meaning over here. It is the only word that fits in is deterrent. Okay. So I'll go with option B. It says research studies have clearly shown that capital punishment does not act as a deterrent to violent crimes. Okay. This is how you handle questions based on vocabulary. You could have done this very easily in a very short amount of time. If you know the meaning of the word, it becomes easier for you. But even if you do not know the meaning of certain words, please use the elimination techniques. If you don't know the meaning, for example, here if you don't know the meaning of the word redolent, then maybe if you look at other words and if you can figure out, you can shortlist, then you will obviously get there is a high chance that you may get the correct option. So always eliminate options for which you know the meaning and shortlist your choices, then make a calculated guess. Okay, this is my tip. If you do not know the meaning, but if you know the meaning of the word, then obviously you can do this right in the very first instance. So let's look at the next set of questions. Question number 57. Select the word or phrase that is incorrect in the sentence below. Select option E if the sentences have no errors. So here what we need to do, we need to see whatever is underlined, whether that has any error. If yes, then we'll select that option. And in case if there is no error in the underlined words, then we will go with option E. So this is a kind of sentence correction question. It tests your knowledge on the different kinds of errors that may be there in the sentence. It could be noun pronoun error, it could be subject verb agreement error, it could be a modifier error. There are various kinds of errors that can be introduced, but mostly it will test your understanding on hardcore grammar. So if you need help with that, you are welcome to approach us. We'll help you build your grammar. Alright, so let's look at this question. The incident left her with a fractured leg. Is there any error in this? Left her with a fractured leg, meaning that incident fractured her leg. That's the meaning. Alright, and it looks fine. With great efforts, she has started to walk again. Started to walk again is perfect, but look at this, with great efforts. Now here you must understand that there is a certain usage. You use efforts when you make sustained efforts towards something, right? But here the meaning that you want to convey here is that with great effort, meaning it was very difficult for her to get out of that situation. She put in a lot of hard work to start to walk again, right? So here the correct option would be effort and not efforts. So with great efforts, with great effort, she started to walk again. That means she put in a lot of hard work and it was a difficult thing that she tried. So with great effort, she was able to handle that and she was able to walk again. So I'll go with option choice C. Alright, let's look at next question, question number 58. Select the word or phrase that is incorrect in the sentence below. Select option E if the sentence has no errors. Discount of 25% were given to the customers purchasing clay lamps. Now look, as I read, a discount is fine, a is fine, but were, a discount of something were given. Now were is incorrect. Discount is singular, right? So it should be was. A discount of 25% was given to customers purchasing clay lamps during the Festival of Lights. Purchasing and during seems fine to me, right? So here clearly option choice B. That's incorrect. All right. So we will go with option choice B. Question number 59. Select the word or phrase. All right. Same type of question. I'll not read that. So the area I live in is one of the many safe places that gives freedom to women to walk around even at night. The area I live in is one of the many safe places. All right. So it is one of the many safe places. Fine. That gives freedom. All right. So that, what is the antecedent of that? Is it one or is it the safe places? What is it? Think about it. The area I live in is one of the many safe places that dash freedom to women to walk around even at night. Now you can even at night. So at is fine, but we can just ignore even at night and we can put a full stop here to understand the meaning or to simplify the meaning. The area I live in is one of the many safe places that gives freedom to women to walk around. So if you understand the antecedent of that, then you will be able to figure this out. It is not one. It is that, meaning we are talking of the safe places that gives freedom. Now safe places, since this is plural and the plural verb comes without the s, so this verb should be give. So I'll go with option choice C. It should be give. The area I live in is one of the many safe places that give freedom to women to walk around even at night. That's the correct statement. All right. Option choice C is our answer for this sentence correction question. We come to the last question of this sample paper, that is question number 60. Select the word or phrase that is incorrect. All right, same kind of question. There are many harmful effects of consuming junk food regularly. Eating nutritious food is key to healthy living. All right. Now look, at the very outset, it looks that the problem is here. If you understand the meaning of affect and effect, then you will get this. Affect is what? Affect is a verb and effect is a noun. All right. So for example, I will say the weather affects me. All right. Whenever the season changes, I get ill. Okay. I get sick. Whatever. This is the verb usage of the word, this is the usage of the word affect. But effect meaning what? It's a noun. It means something has happened to something, right? And what is the change that you observe in that? So for example, I'll say I'm down with fever. This is the effect of the changing weather. That means I'm talking about about something that I have suffered because of something else, right? So the effect of changing weather, right? So that's a noun form. There are many harmful effects of consuming junk food regularly. So this is incorrect as per me, and I'll like to go with option A, but let's see whether there is any other compelling option. So junk food regularly, this is okay. Eating food is key to healthy living is also okay. Living is also okay, because eating nutritious food is key to. All right. So here you are talking of singular things. So is fine. Eating nutritious food is key to healthy living. So the option obviously should be option A. That is how you figure out your sentence correction questions. So with that, we come to the end of this video. I hope you like the content. If yes, please do like, subscribe and share this channel. I have put a link to two videos, one regarding Parajumbles and two regarding inferences in the description. Please have a look at those two videos. It will help you solidify your learning on the topics. Please do not restrict yourself only to what you have seen in the sample paper. Please broad base your learning. It takes time and effort to learn a particular language or to gain proficiency in a particular language. Please do that, and if you need any support, we will be happy to help you ace your grammar, your understanding on logical reasoning, or whatever is needed related to your quant or verbal or your logical reasoning skills to help you ace any competitive exam that tests your general aptitude. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. See you very soon. Bye-bye. Happy learning.